This soil elixir was banned. Not because it was dangerous, not because it was ineffective. It was banned because it made the entire chemical fertilizer industry obsolete in 24 hours. Imagine a world where the ground beneath your feet, once declared dead and barren by so-called experts, could be resurrected overnight. A world where the very foundation of our food system could be healed with a simple natural formula. This isn't science fiction, this is suppressed science. Watch what happens overnight. While you sleep, a silent revolution is taking place in the soil. A transformation so profound, it defies the decades of dogma we've been fed. The industry wants you to believe that reviving soil is a slow, expensive, multi-year process. They want you dependent on their chemical inputs season after season. But nature, when given the right key, works on a different timeline. It works with an efficiency that billion-dollar corporations can only dream of. And fear. Worms everywhere. They are the architects of fertility, the silent tillers, the engineers of healthy soil. Their presence is the most honest indicator of a thriving ecosystem. When you see this, you're not just seeing worms, you're seeing life returning. You're seeing a system rebooting itself, casting off the chemical shackles that have held it captive. Each worm is a testament to the soil's renewed vitality, a living, breathing factory turning waste into black gold. To understand why this was suppressed, you have to understand the business model it threatened. Chemical companies didn't just sell fertilizer, they sold soil death. It was a brilliant, cynical strategy. First, convince farmers that the soil is nothing more than a sterile medium to hold up plants. Then sell them the synthetic nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium needed to force growth. The problem? These harsh salts kill the microbial life, destroy the soil structure, and create a dependency cycle. Dead soil means repeat customers. It's the perfect business model. If the soil can no longer feed the plants on its own, the farmer has no choice but to come back, year after year, for another bag, another bottle, another fix. The health of your land is a direct threat to their bottom line. A living, self-sustaining soil ecosystem is their worst nightmare. They aren't in the business of growing food. They are in the business of selling chemicals. And business was and is very good. This elixir threatened their entire model. It didn't just offer a better alternative, it offered an escape. It severed the chain of dependency. It empowered the grower, whether a farmer with 1,000 acres or a gardener with a single pot, to create their own fertility. It turned a recurring expense into a one-time, near-zero-cost solution. This wasn't just competition, this was an existential threat. And corporations do not take kindly to existential threats. They eliminate them. So what did their buried research uncover? What were the secrets so dangerous they had to be hidden? Discovery 1. The migration trigger. Worms travel from feet to yards away. The elixir doesn't just affect the soil it touches. It sends out a powerful biological signal, a pheromonal beacon that calls to earthworms in the surrounding area. They sense a feast, an ideal environment, and they migrate towards it, bringing their incredible soil-building capabilities with them. It turns a single treated spot into a hub of regeneration that expands outward. But it gets even more profound. It doesn't just add worms, it wakes dormant eggs. Earthworm cocoons can lie dormant in the soil for years, waiting for the right conditions to hatch. They are nature's ultimate survival mechanism. Chemical farming suppresses these conditions, keeping the eggs in a state of suspended animation. This elixir provides the exact environmental cues, the perfect storm of moisture, temperature, and microbial activity that signals it's safe to hatch. It's a population explosion waiting to happen. One application can spike populations up to 10x in 2 days. Think about that. Not 10%, 10 times. An order of magnitude increase in the workforce that aerates your soil, creates nutrient channels, and digests organic matter into plant food. This isn't a gradual improvement, it's a phase transition. It's the difference between a deserted street and a bustling city, and it happens in a weekend. Discovery 2. The microbial detonator. This was the secret that truly terrified them. The elixir acts as a catalyst, triggering a chain reaction in the soil's existing microbial community. It's not about introducing new microbes from a lab. It's about activating the native, powerful bacteria and fungi that are already there, lying dormant and starved in chemically abused soil. It's like flipping a switch that turns on the entire soil food web. Beneficial microbes multiply at breakneck speed. Within hours, populations of nitrogen-fixing bacteria, phosphorus-solubilizing fungi, and decomposers explode. They form a living protective web around plant roots, shielding them from pathogens and mining the soil for nutrients. This is the biological engine that chemical fertilizers attempt to replace but can never replicate. This is nature's intricate self-regulating system, brought back online with breathtaking force. A teaspoon can rival acres of chemical dirt. The biological density becomes so immense that a single teaspoon of this reactivated soil contains more living organisms than there are people on Earth. Compare that to the sterile dust that passes for soil in most industrial agriculture. One is a living city, the other is a desert. This elixir doesn't just amend the soil, it transforms its very nature, from an inert substance to a vibrant, living entity. Discovery 3. Rapid residue breakdown. For decades, we've been told that pesticide and herbicide residues persist in the soil for years, even decades, slowly poisoning the land and our food. This was a convenient truth for companies selling more chemicals. But the activated microbes in this elixir see those complex chemical compounds as something else: food. They are carbon chains, and these microbes evolved to break down carbon. These toxic compounds are dismantled in hours. The hyperactivated microbial community unleashes a cocktail of enzymes that specifically target and break the chemical bonds in these persistent pollutants. What would take years of natural attenuation, they accomplish in a day. They turn poisons into harmless components: carbon dioxide, water, and trace minerals. They are the ultimate detoxification crew. Clean soil, fast. This isn't just about growing better plants. It's about bioremediation. It's about healing the damage we've done. It means you can take land that has been abused for decades, a lawn sprayed with weed and feed, a farm field drenched in glyphosate, a garden plot full of unknown residues, and you can effectively hit the reset button, creating a safe, clean foundation for growing healthy food. Discovery 4. The nutrient key. This is perhaps the most elegant secret of all. Your soil is likely not deficient in minerals, it's filled with them. The problem is, they are locked up in forms that plants cannot absorb. Chemical agriculture ignores this, telling you to just add more soluble salts. But this elixir does something far more intelligent. It unlocks the treasure chest that's already there. Bound minerals become plant available now. The explosion of microbial life, particularly fungi and bacteria, changes the soil chemistry. They produce organic acids that gently dissolve minerals like phosphorus, calcium, and iron, converting them into a form that plant roots can easily uptake. They act as a microscopic delivery service, mining the soil and bringing nutrients directly to the plant in a perfect, symbiotic exchange. It's a closed-loop system of perfect efficiency. Plants respond in hours. Because the nutrients are delivered in a perfectly bioavailable form, the plant's response is almost immediate. You can see visible changes: wilting leaves becoming firm, yellowing foliage turning a deep, healthy green. This isn't the frantic, weak growth spurred by synthetic nitrogen. This is the deep, resilient vitality that comes from a plant being fully nourished by a living soil. Starting in 1947, references vanished from extension guides. The post-war chemical boom was beginning. The narrative had to be controlled. Knowledge of these traditional, effective soil amendments was a direct threat to the new, profitable chemical paradigm. So, quietly, systematically, it was erased. The very books meant to help farmers were rewritten to make them forget. Agents were told to call it superstition. They were instructed to dismiss the old ways as unscientific folklore. Farmers who had used these methods for generations were patronized, told they were falling behind the times. The wisdom of their grandfathers was relabeled as ignorance. It was a coordinated campaign of disinformation, waged against our own food producers by the very institutions meant to support them. Documented results were buried. University studies, field trials, lab reports, anything that validated the effectiveness of these biological activators was classified, filed away, or lost. The science was clear, but it pointed to the wrong conclusion. It showed that the path to fertility was biological, not chemical. And so, the data had to disappear. The truth became a casualty of commerce, but a few kept the knowledge alive. Outside the mainstream, in communities that valued tradition and self-sufficiency over corporate promises, the secret was passed down. The Amish, the Mennonites, Old World gardeners, they didn't need a university study to tell them what worked. They saw it in the health of their soil, the vitality of their crops, and the richness of their harvests. They became the quiet librarians of this forbidden knowledge. Their soil health tests crush conventional by 500%. When you take soil from these farms and compare it to their chemical-dependent neighbors, the results are staggering. Organic matter content, the cornerstone of soil fertility, isn't just a little higher, it's often 5 times higher. Water retention, microbial biomass, nutrient cycling, on every metric that matters, the biological approach isn't just winning, it's a landslide. Fewer inputs, impossible yields. This is the paradox that baffles the chemical industry. How can they produce more by adding less? Because they aren't adding fertility. They are unlocking it. They are partnering with the trillions of workers already in their soil. While conventional farms are trapped on a chemical treadmill, spending more each year for diminishing returns, these growers are building true, resilient wealth in their land. One worm does $3 of soil work daily. Agricultural economists have actually calculated the value an earthworm provides in terms of aeration, water infiltration, and nutrient cycling. It's a living biological asset. Now imagine not just one, but hundreds of thousands of them per acre, all working for free. The Elixir scales it for free. This is the economic genius of the system. You don't have to buy the worms, you don't have to pay for their labor. You simply create the conditions for them to thrive, and they build an agricultural empire for you. The Elixir is the key that unlocks this priceless, self-replicating workforce. It's the ultimate leverage. Chemicals can't compete with biology. A chemical is a blunt instrument. It does one thing and often creates a dozen unintended consequences. Biology is an intelligent, adaptive system. It performs millions of functions simultaneously in perfect harmony. Trying to replace a living ecosystem with a few synthetic salts is like trying to replace a symphony orchestra with a single blaring horn. It's crude, inefficient, and ultimately a failure. And you don't need a farm to prove this to yourself. Start with one pot. This isn't some abstract theory. This is a tangible reality you can witness firsthand. Take the most neglected, sterile potting soil you have, the pot of a plant you've given up on. This will be your laboratory. Apply. Wait overnight. That's all it takes. No tilling, no complicated procedures. Just a few drops of the Elixir, a little water, and the patience to let nature do its work for a few hours. See life in soil that was sterile for years. The next morning, look closely. You will see the evidence. The soil will be darker, more aggregated. You will see the telltale castings of earthworms. You will witness a resurrection in a flower pot. And in that moment, you will understand the power that has been kept from you. In an age of fragile supply chains, soil isn't a hobby, it's survival. We have outsourced the most critical component of our existence, our food, to a complex, brittle global system that can be shattered by a single crisis. True security doesn't come from a well-stocked supermarket. It comes from the living soil that can provide for you, independent of that system. Real food beats inflation. While the price of chemically grown, nutrient-poor food skyrockets, you can be growing the most nutrient-dense food on the planet for pennies. This is the ultimate inflation hedge. You can't print more land, but you can infinitely improve the productivity of the land you have. This is how you opt out of their rigged game. And the secret to it all? 3 kitchen ingredients. This isn't some complex chemical formula synthesized in a billion-dollar lab. It's made from simple, common, inexpensive materials that you might already have in your pantry. The power was never in a factory. It was in your kitchen all along. 10 minutes to make, pennies per use. This is the other reason it was so dangerous to the established order. It's not just effective, it's accessible. It democratizes fertility. There's no patent, no proprietary formula to protect, no recurring revenue stream. It's knowledge, and once shared, it cannot be taken back. They kept you buying their poisons. Every bottle on that shelf represents a failure to understand and work with nature, a failure to trust the soil. They sold you a story of deficiency and dependence, and you paid the price. In money, in the health of your land, and in the quality of your food. Liberate your soil in 24 hours. Your food freedom starts now. This is more than gardening. This is an act of rebellion. It's a declaration of independence from a system that has failed us. By healing your soil, you are taking back control of your health, your security, and your future. The revolution begins beneath your feet.